Hey guys, well, I think this is a record. How many videos have I made now in this short period of time? Um, well, here I am again. I just found out today that I was told anyway that the ATM downstairs in the building, someone found spyware in it, and that they had to replace it. Now, obviously, I'm worried. Okay, because with all of this going on with the stalking, it's hard not to assume that it was the perpetrators who did that. And just thinking about it pisses me off because on one hand, I'm not entirely sure what the people in the building can do because I have told them. I've told the manager. I've told a few other people. I don't know what they can do because of the infiltration. The perpetrators infiltrate. So we've got these little vermin, infesting, running around the entire building and causing trouble, pounding on a door and running off. And they hire people to do this or leaving cartons of eggs by the door. And at some point you stop reporting it because, you report things enough times and you don't have proof. No one's going to believe you. I've just got to start, I don't know, I've got to get a camera and film like in the apartment by the door 24/7 so I can catch it when they pound and run off. And also I have to find, the legalities of using one of those Ring doorbells outside of her because it's a hallway and there are other apartments and our apartment isn't quite facing another apartment, but it could be considered, illegal. I don't know. So I have to find out what the law is regarding that. But if we don't have proof, they don't believe it. And at some point, you just can't keep reporting people if you don't have proof. No one's going to believe it. Anyway, I remember once, maybe close to a year ago, I don't know, maybe not even that, there was a strange guy, fiddling with the ATM. He was using some kind of, and he wasn't in any uniform. It's not like he looked like he was working with anyone. There was no car parked out front from any agency. So I went and I didn't actually report him, but I told the doorwoman up front that there's some guy, monkeying with the ATM. He has tools. I don't know. I just wanted to let you guys know that it was happening. And she said, oh, yeah, 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 we know he's there. Okay, fine. He's there. Um, the problem is that a lot of these guys infiltrate. They say that they have good intent when they don't. And they look normal. They look, well dressed. They look well adjusted. And professional people trust them more so than they trust a target who is kind of disheveled, especially if a target has been targeted for a long time. They're starting to break down. They're not necessarily in a good mood all the time. They're jumpy. You walk up behind them and they jump. So it's difficult. On one hand, I don't know what I expect from the employees because they can't just know who's innocent and who isn't, right? And a lot of these guys seem innocent. They can't just stop certain types from coming in here. I know that. And, but at the same time, when they're told something and they just don't take it seriously, at some point, some of the responsibility falls on them. Okay. Especially some of the door people and the manager. And, I told them what is going on, you know, and a lot of them, I handed out a flyer regarding organized stalking, illegal surveillance, and it doesn't seem to matter, right? They don't take it seriously. And so they keep letting these little animals in. And, I don't know what to do at this point. I can't just keep reporting strange things because strange things can be passed off as perfectly normal, right? I saw a plain-clothed person go into our next-door neighbor's apartment, and that particular neighbor had complained about things being stolen from her apartment. She even said that someone came in and ate all of her food. Now, that sounds like something that the organized stalker, the Zetsung team would do, right? The PSYOP team, just to get it heard, to when the target hears, to frighten the target, So when I saw someone with plain clothes, not going into her apartment, I think I said going in, I know, the person was wearing plain street clothes and coming out of her dark apartment. So she clearly wasn't there. So I reported it, and it turned out they said, "Oh, well, that's just the one of the caretakers." Okay. The problem is these people claim that they're being stolen from. So yeah, well, what do you do? At some point, you just can't keep reporting people. Someone comes and whispers something nasty under their breath, and then you look angry, and you guys get to the front of the building, and he's all sweet again. And I spoke about that blonde guy who pulled that garbage. He came. I think I said that in the last video or the one before that. I don't remember. Um, yeah, he walked up behind me and he whispered something nasty and made a nasty gesture. And then we got to the front and I looked angry and he was so sweet. Oh, so sweet. And the door woman was just, she acted protective of him. Now I didn't say anything, but I looked angry. So, and she looked overly protective of him, even though I told her what was going on. Not in this case. I didn't say that he did anything, but I had told her I've got these people following me. I've got them, doing all these things, making prank calls, screwing with accessing my internet. I told the manager that as well, that I found all these devices on our internet, on our Wi-Fi. One was Linux. Who uses Linux nowadays but hackers, right? It just never matters. They don't care what I say. So on some level, even still, I did tell them. So with all of this going on, at least they can't come back and say, well, you didn't tell me, because this is what happens. If, you report things too much and they start, and especially when you don't have proof or something can be disproven, they don't trust you anymore. Like the people who come and slam on our door and then run off. One time I caught the woman. I caught her and she was a caretaker and she said, oh, sorry, wrong apartment. But she knows what apartment we're in and she knows we don't have, there are no caretakers here. She goes next door. I've seen her going in next door, right? And I haven't seen this woman in a while, but she knows that there are no caretakers here. So, but how can I prove that she was lying? Okay. At some point, you just can't prove it anymore. And I don't know if they're paying her off or what. But if they leave a carton of eggs outside, I can't prove that I didn't put it there. Okay? You've got to have proof. So if you don't have proof, they don't believe you. And if you don't tell them, well, then later they'll come back and say, well, it's your fault. Why didn't you tell us? You're damned either way. But I did tell them what was going on a long time ago. I told the manager and I handed out flyers about organized stalking to some of the employees who work here. And so they're aware. They can't come back and say, oh, we didn't know. Yes, you did know. You knew. And now, because of your refusal to take action, and some of you actually went along with it, everybody in this building has been endangered because, anyone who used that ATM, because of whoever put spyware. If I first told you, I'm not going to say you could have stopped this, but I don't know. I don't know. Am I being unreasonable? Could they have done anything? And I'm asking you guys. Am I being unfair? Is there anything they could have done? Anyway, I just called the manager. I just called him because I just found out before I left, and I just got back. But before I left, my mother told me that she was told, or she heard that there was spyware put in the ATM downstairs, and that they had to change the ATM. So, and I had to go out, so I went out and I came back. I just got back, and as soon as I got back, I called the manager, and I didn't, I called him and I told him that I wanted to speak with him about an issue, and he's the same guy that I explained the situation to initially about the having these people who track me down online who are following me around and doing all these things. And also too, after that, I called him once and he never called me back. So, but anyway, now for the first time since then, it's been a long time. For the first time since then, I just called him and told him I'd like to speak with him about an issue. We'll see if he actually calls me back. Because if they can find out who did that, they might be able to track down who's doing this to me, the stalkers. Maybe. I mean, is it unreasonable to assume that? I don't know. I don't know. Guys, I really do need some input here. I think, I know a lot, these videos aren't being watched by a lot of people, and, I don't know, I need them to be, because I need more input. And I think, it's, even I typed in a lot of, the terminology like gang stalking, organized stalking into YouTube, and my videos don't show up. So give me some feedback. Give me some responses for those of you who end up watching this video. Peace.